We want revolution.
Bookmark words on standby.
Log online, fan page loaded and ready.
Player stats, loaded. Health check, go.
Weapons check. Eyes check, complete.
We have launched for the Informant podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Informant podcast. I'm Pistol Pete from Stockholm. Tonight I have with me Jennifer the Mafia Wars Loot Lady and Jenna Mig Death by Gucci.
That sounds
Happening.
scary.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
How's everybody?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
A little bored.
You sound so excited.
Pete's not very
I
excited.
know, gosh, let me hold you back.
Bustling over with enthusiasm.
He said he was reading, which I find odd.
Really? That's different.
I have my moments.
What are you reading?
I was looking for a post that we had about a new Spocklet.
Oh. Well, exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I've hardly had a chance to play. I'm totally counting on you guys to bring me up to speed with everything going on here.
Okie dokie then.
So get it on. What's up? Pete, you first.
Alright, well, first things first, the script that I was trying to find was called the Rollback Analyzer, and it's actually in the toolbar to everybody, and basically what it does is it compares your inventory to what supposedly the max number of items you can have for certain items in the game. And if you exceed what those max number of items are, it kind of highlights them for you, so you know which ones they're probably coming after.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that's new.
So yeah, I'd hardly had a chance to play, and I log in and I get the message that I'm being rolled back for. I was going to take a screenshot, but then I figured this happened to more people than just me, and I don't really need a picture of it.
And then it got kind of
No,
messy.
please.
And Jennifer will be able to talk all about the rollback that was rolled back to roll back the rollback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying to figure out what to call that. Like, roll forward doesn't sound very good.
It's boomerang.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. But there's got to be a funnier term for it.
It's the rollback boomerang.
Well,
I guess I should explain that then.
Go for it, and then I'll finish up
Okay.
the rest of Stockholm stuff.
Well, you may have recalled we talked about a certain exploit on the show many a times, and they never rolled it back. It was months ago.
Mhm.
And I guess they decided to finally do something about it, but their execution was faulty. So they had this list of, and they were going by, you should only have X number of this item. If you have more, we're taking it back. But their list wasn't accurate. For example, they said the most assassin's jackets you should have is 1. Well, that's not true. I have 10 and I earned them. I spent enough reward points to get them, but I fought and beat the Raven 10 times. So I should have 10 assassin's jackets. Well, many players found themselves in a similar situation and their assassin jackets got taken away. A lot of people that did the pay for play secret districts in the beginning, they weren't capped.
Uh-huh.
So you could have multiple mastery items for secret districts that you had to pay for to repeat. Well, Zynga took those away too. And really the items they needed to go after were these super rare boss fight items that most of us don't even have one of, but many players out there had like 200, 300 of these. And so many more items. I mean, this glitch was widely used, and the problem with it was that many people got items from it without even realizing it. The people had to manipulate requests. If they posted them to their walls, then the wall scrubbers and whatnot would pick them up, so they would get items that way. If somebody wanted to, they could have made a link out of your link, and they could have given you 20 items while it would give them 20 as well. And you could have not even known that was happening.
Right.
So there's a lot of this loot that people shouldn't have. And so people that got rolled back, that's clean, I didn't use a script. It's not necessarily that you did use a script. In fact, you could have gotten all these items without using a script. But it was just that the automated scanning scripts, which pick up these requests as they go live. If anyone in your Mafia put those on their wall while you were running it, you were going to get an item.
And chances are somebody did.
Yeah, and people weren't smart about it either. Like the smart ones, they loaded up on crate items. They maxed out on all kinds of things that would blend in. It's the people that went for the, 200 hair bangers,
Mm-hmm.
boss fight loot, ice cycles that we should never have more than one of if we're lucky. Mission loot that was only available to get one item. That was the kind of obvious.
Well, the other thing is, in reality, chances are people using that glitch did not take the time to send it to random people out of the blue.
Right.
True.
If you got that glitch, you were sending it to your mini, or you were sending it to another account that you owned, or your main account. I bet there were few and far between that would have randomly chosen, oh, hey, Pistol Pete needs 20 of such and such. Or
Right.
I'm going to send Jen, or some other player out there randomly 20 things to throw off Zynga. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think that happened in large scale, but I think the people that are swearing up and down they have no idea how they got these items, that could explain it. It couldn't explain an abundance of items.
Yeah.
Like we have a guy in my family, he got a harbinger on his wall scrubber run.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like one or two items. The people that have tons of them, they are the ones that need to be targeted.
Right.
And like you said, they knew what they were doing. They probably went to their minis, their buddies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, you send me these and I'll send them back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would have done it if I had knowledge of that.
Well,
glitch.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the way most people think about those glitches. They don't think about just randomly choosing someone out of the blue. But like you said, if they could have been picked up by being posted on walls as, shared links, and then the person that clicks it gets it, that would make a difference, I suppose.
The requests worked exactly like when you go to your family properties and you request artillery shells or reinforced concrete. You can get a maximum of 20 per day.
Okay.
Either you click on a feed or someone clicks on your feed.
All right.
So however that happens, but if you made a post for 20 ice cycles, whoever clicked on your post would get 20 and then 20 would get bounced back to you, and they did that.
Right.
And the thing of this exploit was you could do the 20 on every single loot item and stat card in the inventory every day.
Uh-huh.
And it went on for a few months before it was discovered.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I had no idea what they took from me. I just got the pop-up and I had no idea what it was. So.
Right. So like I was saying, they took items they shouldn't, and then they realized that they screwed up. So they put these items back. And so everyone got another pop-up saying, we're sorry. Here's 10 reward points and here's your items back. And the updated customer support document said, we are not taking any items at this moment. So I imagine they're going to go back to the drawing board and maybe figure out a better way to do this. But I know they want to clean up that exploit. It's pretty serious. If I was the kind of person that spent money on loot items and my skill points, I would be mad that people were getting them for free and I had to pay for them.
Absolutely.
So, there's mixed reviews in the comments about that. I think the ones who did take advantage of the exploit are pissed. The ones who didn't are happy.
Well, once again, though, they made me feel like I did something wrong by the message that I got, and I didn't do anything wrong. So I just wish they could, I had no idea what was going on. There was really no explanation. I mean, I don't go to the forums. Maybe there was. But once again, though, they made me feel like I did something bad.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of comments too. People were really upset saying, I don't use scripts. How is this possible? Mm-hmm. And it's just the lack of understanding of how the exploit worked. And it was obvious that they targeted the wrong people. And I don't know if you did get some kind of item illegitimately, if you were flagged, because it seems like the people that did get that rollback said, oh, well, I had this. I
don't do any sort of inventory history or anything, so there you go. I have no idea what's missing.
Yeah. Well, you probably got it all back if it was missing.
Yeah. Well,
and I've been getting sent tons of profiles with like, this person still has all this. So if they did take away all those boss fight items, they either gave them back or they missed a large group of people that had them.
Right.
And if they did it right, nobody would be mad. If you had 200 ice cycles, you were wrong. You shouldn't have them. They take them back and you're like, oh, well, that was fun while it lasted. I don't think people would get pissed that had the items and knew they shouldn't.
Right.
But they'll get pissed at me because for some reason they think it's my fault.
Isn't it always?
Yeah.
If it's not yours, it's Pete's.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's about the gist of it. You know, I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 to the story, or they're just going to accept defeat and say, we can't roll back. We can't do it properly. So in lieu of pissing off more people, we're just going to leave it alone. Mm-hmm. That would be another option too. It wouldn't make everyone happy, but I think their main concern would be to protect innocent players from getting upset.
Right.
Failure is not an option.
Fail.
Yep.
Well then, I guess I still don't really understand what the point of the whole deal was. So if they rolled it back and then took it back, and so they don't even know what they did either.
Probably not.
Back to the drawing board.
Yep. Well,
And
Pete, so
personally, they waited too long. If they would have addressed it right when it happened.
It never even crossed my mind that that was the issue either. I had no idea. I've been too busy to care.
Yeah.
But I did forget about that, so.
Well, I know the new team wants to clean things up. They want to ban accounts that were purchased. They want to, punish people for using these rogue scripts.
Has any of that happened that you know of? No.
I know some accounts that were banned. I don't know exactly why.
Right.
They were well-known sold accounts, and they were soft banned, and now they're permanently banned. But they're not going to share information like that with us. We can just tell because the account's not leveling up anymore. Mm-hmm. Where before it was banned, it couldn't fight, but it could still do jobs. And then it got unbanned, and that caused a lot of controversy because people were like, oh, okay, so is it okay to have a sold account now? And now I guess it's not because the account is banned again.
There you have it.
And that's about all I know. And anyone can guess why, how, what reasons. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right. You can make a game of it.
But it should just send a message, don't buy an account because you're at risk of losing it and you'll lose all that money you paid. Mm-hmm. And I doubt the person you bought it from would give you a refund.
Yep. Sounds like a good deal. Wah, wah.
Sell my account if anyone wants to buy it.
Chester asked for mine today. He wasn't going to pay for it.
Oh, you should have told him for $3,000.
Yeah, right. You know Chester, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's cheap.
Yeah, he's too cheap. He wouldn't buy it.
No.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe one of your admirers would buy your account.
You can have me in all kinds of trouble.
You are trying to get her in trouble selling off her account.
You could put it on eBay. This was owned by Jana Gucci, the famous food item.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, nobody wants that.
Locked up for violating the TOS.
They know how to tell.
Yeah.
I think I'm stuck with me.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't take much because once you change, the account, you're going to change information on it. Unless you keep all the name the same, but somewhere along the line you're going to change the email address and things like that. I mean, all that gets tracked.
If you're going to buy reward points still, it's all traceable.
Yep.
Well, so Pete, what else is up?
Well, it's been it really kind of has been a busy week for us. The toolbar got some pretty interesting upgrade. One that was in there when we first created the toolbar and then pulled it back out because it wasn't working very well, which is a one-click banking. So any city that you're on, if you click on the icon for the actual currency, you can straight deposit your money straight in the bank.
Oh, nice.
One click. So it behaves just like the healing with the toolbar enabled. That, well, if you check the checkbox that says, the one-click healing, you can click on the heart and it would automatically heal you. Another thing is we've actually started a Twitter feed. So if it's Spockholm is at Twitter. And what we've been doing there is we've been publishing out updates. And there's also now an option in the desktop notifications that if you turn that on in the toolbar, when we publish an update on, a script change or something that's been fixed in a script or whatever else through the Twitter feed, it'll show up in your desktop notifications for those that are using that out of the toolbar. There's been a couple of other things. Some people can't stand that Zynga requires you to have an auto post when you want to post, when it goes time to post your